This is Miss Whisperful. Just wanted to do a quick video, bit of a rambling video. I've just been watching a DVD that I bought today. It's a series 1 and 2 of a show called Outnumbered. It's a BBC show. I think it's only shown in the UK at the moment. I might be wrong though. Often I know shows get syndicated. I'm just not sure if Outnumbered has been. But it's an amazing show. It's so funny. It's a situation comedy. But it's unusual because the script is actually okay, so it's like a family comedy. So you've got the mother and the father living in a house in London with their 3 children. The first is sort of, in the first series, there's been 3 series of it. In the first series he's just going to high school, which means he's about 11, and then there's a middle boy who is about 8, and then a little girl who's about, I think, 4 or 5 in the first series. But the really innovative kind of thing about the show is that for mother and father, there is a script. You know, the actors who play the mother and father are scripted, and the actors are Hugh Dennis, and who's a really famous comedian in the UK, and also Claire Skinner, who is, I think she's kind of a successful stage actress in the West End, and I think she's done some Broadway. She was also in a few films like Sleepy Hollow. She was in that. But yeah, so they're like the mother and father, and then the kids, they don't actually. The director gives them pointers of, you know, kind of what he wants to get across in each scene, and kind of what is going to be happening in the next scene, just to give them an idea of the type of thing they need to say and how they need to go about the scene. But there's really very little script for the kids, which means that you get this amazing, like, childlike views coming forward. It's the sort of stuff that really just could never be written. I mean, like, part of what I do in my job is screenwriting for television, and you could not write some of this stuff. It's just, it could only come, you could write it if you were a 5-year-old, you know, like, it can only come from kids. The little girl in it has become a bit of a kind of cult hero in the UK. She's like probably the most famous 5-year-old. Oh, she's probably not, she's older than that, she's probably about 10, but she's amazing. She's so little talented girl. She comes up with some absolute dream lines. She really kind of bounces off the parents really well, particularly the Claire Skinner, who plays the mum. A lot of the scenes, they put the mother and daughter together just because I think that she seems to really kind of work with the mum brilliantly, and she comes up with some things like, oh god, I'm trying to think of some examples. I mean, like, she does this hilarious stuff where basically the director told the actress that she needs to fill like a minute of the show, and she can do whatever she wants to fill it, but she needs to fill it because there's an argument in one of the episodes going on downstairs between like the older brother and the younger brother or something, and the director's idea was that he wanted to pan away and have just the little girl playing on her own in her room. So the little actress who plays her came up with the idea of using her teddy bears to do a version of Hell's Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay, and so she kind of goes, she's got like she thinks the little girl really believes that Gordon Ramsay, there's a man that stands behind Gordon Ramsay with like a microphone that makes a beeping noise, because obviously Gordon Ramsay swears a lot, but the little girl doesn't kind of make that association, that distinction. So she thinks that he's just got a man behind him with a beeper that's just beeping the whole time. So, you know, she's sort of playing with these toys and she's going, you know, this beeping thing is beeping, and it's just so funny to hear that kind that's written on a piece of paper, and then you have to describe that thing without actually saying what it is. They're playing that, and I was watching kind of the making of that episode, and the little girl again was paired with the mother, Claire Skinner, who plays the mother, and the little girl picked up the word, and it must have said poodle, as in the dog, a poodle. And again, it just shows like it's like a child's imagination. Like the little girl's instant reaction was, it looks like a cloud. And you can see, even in the final cut in the episode itself, I mean, I was watching the making of, but you can see that even in the final cut, the mother is like completely perplexed for like a good 10 seconds or so, and then she says something like, it looks like a cloud, and then I can't remember what else she says, but it makes it clearer, and the mother like laughs and says poodle, and you can tell it's actually Claire Skinner, the actress, laughing, because it's like it's a break from character, you know. But in the making of thing I saw, they were just in absolute hysterics, like the fact that this little girl, you know, had looked at that dog and thought, oh, a cloud, like she thinks it looks like a cloud. It's just so sweet and funny. And there's another scene, and they're playing I Spy in an airport. They've been on holiday, and again it's the mother and the little girl, and the little girl has said something beginning with M for Manchester. Nobody can guess what it is. They're coming up with absolutely everything, and basically throughout the episode, it's really funny actually. They've been trying to explain to the little girl what a terrorist is, because the older brother is like, he's a real troublemaker. Like the middle brother is a really like a naughty little boy, and he's mentioned to her that there could be bombs on the plane, and so they, you know, the whole point is that they're trying to explain to this poor little girl, you know, the fact that there could be, but there's not going to be, you know. It shows that kind of, you know, the sort of awkward situations that kids put you in. So throughout this whole episode, you've had this running storyline of this little girl trying to come to terms with the idea of a terrorist, or, you know, extremists and religion, and I mean just stuff that a little girl shouldn't even be thinking about, but because of her naughty older brother, you know, she's had to, because she's asking all these questions, and the parents don't really feel that they can just lie to her, because obviously they're trying to be good parents and they're trying to sort of teach her. But anyway, she, you know, in her innocence, the letter beginning with M, and the mother's like, I don't know, I give up, and she just shouts at the top of her voice and points at this Indian guy and shouts Muslim, and it's so funny. Like everybody in the airport just like stares at this little girl, who, you know, the mother like is just horrified, and actually Claire Skinner, who plays the mother, does that so well, that kind of like horrified embarrassment look on her face. Probably quite natural actually, I should think, working with those kids, but yeah, she's just horrified. It's like, you can't, you know, point at people and shout out their religion. It's just, you know, if that was, you know, said, and that line was uttered by anybody other than a cute little girl, it would be deemed, you know, racist. Like, it's not good comedy, it's racist. But because it's so true to life that kids just don't get it. They don't see what the problem is in, you know, pointing at somebody and saying their religion. You know, it makes no difference to them. And it's just so sweet. This little girl just does not understand, you know, that there are some things you cannot say, or should and shouldn't say. It's such good observational humour, and I'd recommend it. I really would to everybody who likes, you know, good